is your time.
Show me my respect and bow down.
You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze.
I never freeze.
Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Matt, Alonso. Okay, so the embargo just broke on Black Panther. We're gonna be doing a full review later this week with a fuller table, but we wanted to strike while the iron was hot and talk about the latest MCU movie.
Yeah, this is our initial reaction. Black Panther is the story of T'Challa, who we met in Captain America: Civil War. He is back home in Wakanda, and we see him taking over the throne after the death of his father. Chadwick Boseman returns in the title role, and we get to see Wakanda, the most technologically advanced nation on Earth in the MCU, although nobody else but the Wakandans know it. Let's watch a clip.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. Wakanda forever! The revolution will not be televised.
Let's have some fun.
The revolution will be live.
Damn.
This is an exceptionally entertaining film. Ryan Coogler, coming off of Fruitvale Station and Creed, I think finds his own sort of rhythms with this. The first act is a little sluggish, but so was Avengers, and it bounced back from that. So once this movie gets rolling, I think it's terrific. There are moments that feel more like a Bond film than a Marvel superhero movie, from Letitia Wright playing T'Challa's sister Shuri, who is basically the Q/Tony Stark of this movie with all the.
Okay, I'm going to point this out really quick because we want to talk about stuff without spoiling it, right? Because this is an initial review.
Okay.
So Letitia Wright plays Shuri.
Yes.
His what?
Sister.
T'Challa's 16, 17-year-old sister,
right,
who is noticeably smarter than Tony Stark. So, and I'm not the first one that has pointed this out. Letitia Wright has tweeted this, retweeted somebody saying that a 16-year-old black girl is the smartest person on the planet right now, it seems like. One of the things this movie does really well, and if you watch some of the ancillary material prepping about it, the Marvel and Coogler's team and the design team have gone to great lengths to show that Wakandan technology is far and away the most advanced on Earth. And it kind of makes, like, if Tony Stark had built himself something like, I don't know, a hot rod Corvette, they're working on Teslas, right? Like that's
spaceships.
Or spaceships, right? Like this is the level. They really have, their technology is so far advanced.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I agree with you that it comes off like a Bond movie. It also comes across like kind of a political thriller in a good way. Like
sure.
You end up in the politics.
Well, he's always been the only superhero, or no, not the only, but one of the few superheroes who was also a head of state.
Also a head of state. And I found Michael B. Jordan puts in a terrific performance in a character as the villain who is very well written.
Yes.
There's a tragic aspect to that character.
Interesting motivation.
The characters are all, except for maybe Daniel Kaluuya's character, I think they all have really good arcs, and I really kind of bought the motivation of all of them.
I liked Kaluuya a lot, and I think he's got a motivation as well.
I liked him. I thought his motivation was a little thin, and I think the third act of this movie is a little rushed. But that being said, this movie is great.
I had a great time. I whooped a few times, I think, with just like elation at things. Here's a thing that, and this isn't even necessarily a sticking point, but it's, I think, worth pointing out. For a movie called Black Panther, Black Panther's kind of a secondary character. Like, the movie does such interesting world building and gives us these, we get Shuri, we get Lupita Nyong'o playing Nakia the spy. Right. We have, I don't watch Walking Dead, so I'd never seen Denai Guerrero before, but holy crap, as the general of the Wakandan army.
God, she's so good.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
But and then you get Killmonger, and you get all this other, the
Forrest Whitaker,
and so it's sort of like
Sterling K. Brown.
Yes, and so there's all these fascinating new characters.
And the mother,
Angela Bassett, of course, the Queen.
Angela Bassett, who 25 years ago I wanted to play Storm. She would have been amazing. This is a glimpse of what the regalness she brings to that.
No, look, that she didn't get a spin-off from her character for Strange Days is still a crime. But anyway,
not too late. Not too late.
That's true. What I'm saying though is that you are introduced to such a rich cast of characters here. You don't really get to know Black Panther very well. He's he's not the least interesting person, but the movie is not as interested in pursuing him as a character as much as surrounding him with these capable, fascinating people. And ultimately, I think it's fine, the movie works, but I could see that as a beef where people would be like, oh, well, this is the first Black Panther movie, tell us who this guy is, and then let's work outward to, the sidekicks.
I see where you're coming from. I don't totally agree in that. I think I do agree with you, there's less development with him. He doesn't have an arc the way.
He's not conflicted about being king or anything.
Right, he's not conflicted. His arc is more about a choice he makes rather than him learning something, whereas everybody else pretty much has to learn something and be different. For him, it's more of a choice. There's a moment where his father comes to him and says, it's difficult for a good man to be king, and that resonates throughout the film, and I really like that.
It is more about sort of usually for these movies, there's the reluctant warrior journey, where the person has to sort of overcome his personal, like his ego or whatever. This guy is ready to be king, ready to be a superhero. It's all good. What he has to contend with is the political truths about his position, and so that's different and it's interesting, and I like all of that. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying this is a negative. It just struck me afterwards. It reminded me of, remember how in the 70s they would put out comics like Superman Family?
Oh yeah.
And it'd be like a Jimmy Olsen story and a Lois Lane story. This movie kind of felt like the Black Panther Family. Like there's a lot of other people in this movie. Like he's even out of the movie for a while, and it's kind of like,
you know what? Though?
Okay.
Because as we were talking about this, I wanted to bring up that I think this movie brings us a world fully formed that is as immersive as we saw, say, in the first Star Wars movie, right? Like you jump right now. This movie cheats a little bit and gives you a little bit of a backstory in the narration early on, but you get this fully immersed world, and I think you get as much character work as you do in the first Star Wars, where you get a little bit of an arc for almost everybody, right?
Sure. But that movie wasn't called Luke Skywalker.
I understand. I understand.
That's the difference.
But you're right. Good point. But maybe this is about, theoretically, Black Panther is the name of the guy on the throne, and so we get the.
That's true. It is a legacy position. I grant you, and we get to know more about him through his relationship with those characters. So it's not like he's a cipher or anything. I was just sort of struck by that. That said, however, very exciting, fun, funny. Like some terrific. There's a chase. There's a car chase scene that is.
We forgot to mention the two white people in this movie.
Martin Freeman, who
does really well. The American accent's a little, but he's good. And then
it's so weird that they cast a Brit in the but whatever,
And then Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Andy Serkis. Like, it's great to see Andy Serkis and actually see Andy Serkis, and he's chewing the scenery and he's having a great time.
Yeah, we got
super fun.
We got a taste of that character in Civil War, right? Yeah, but he really
Age of Ultron.
You're right, Age of Ultron. But he really lets it fly in this one.
Yeah, and it's fun.
It's a fun. Like he's a fun sort of like scenery chewing villain, and Michael B. Jordan is a fun, like deep troubled villain. Right.
So look, I'm going to tell everybody right now, we're going to take at least 2, if not 3 bites of the apple here, because we'll get. Christy's going to go see it on Monday, and hopefully Ben will go see it at some point, and the 4 of us will do it. And I think we're going to do another review. We'll bring in Jackie. I'll try and get Jason to go see it. Maybe we can get JR to a screening, and maybe get some people that look like the people on that movie to actually weigh in.
I will say this, like people have talked about how this is the blackest sort of major superhero movie. It is also, for an American movie, very African. Like we tend to ignore an entire continent, you know, and like believe me, and I wish 1/10 of the people who were going to buy a ticket to this had also bought a ticket to see the Queen of Katwe a couple of years ago. But you know, it's just like
another great Lupita Nyong'o movie.
It is, but like it's like Africa. We don't make enough movies about or set in Africa.
So on that kick. I'm gonna say this right now, even though she is in no way British at all, I will be first in line to see Lupita Nyong'o as James Bond.
Fucking A. Oh, in a heartbeat.
I mean, Idris Elba's cool and all, but Lupita Nyong'o as James Bond. Ha!
Yeah, and then keep you know, Naomi Harris's Moneypenny. For sure.
Yeah, all right.
I like it.
So we'll be back in a week or so with our next review, but are we even gonna give scores?
We'll
the
save
score
that.
is go see it. You're gonna be happy. Stay through the credits.
Of course.
Yeah, stay through, there were what, 2 scenes?
There's one at the top of the credits and one at the bottom. And until you get to the credits, like except for like a few flashbacks to Civil War, this is pretty much
and the music,
its own thing.
We didn't even call it the music. Like the Kendrick Lamar music in this is terrific too.
Totally.
Anyway.
We'll get more about this. Go see it.